Welcome. You are tuned into the WBGR network and you are viewing another episode of Real Estate Talk with Lisa, Take 10. And our topic today is housing financing, dollars and cents. And our guest today is Mr. Ernest D. Penn with Fidelity Direct Mortgage, and my lovely co-host next to him, Miss Reba Burris Barnes with Reba Associates. So, Ernest is going to take us a quick 10 minutes and we're going to have a little give and take about what's going on with housing financing and how you can have your dollars make sense for your home purchase.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to share with everybody that if you are using grant programs, which are very big in the D.C. and Maryland area, and Virginia as well, those grants tend to run out. So you need to talk with your lender, and the lender can contact those grant programs, and they will definitely be able to inform you on the availability of funds.
Okay.
What I'm finding out is that a lot of people who get the grants, some of the funds are funding out, and you now have lenders who are looking at options on working with nonprofits to get you your grant money.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Now, the way that works is we call it at Fidelity Mortgage, we call it the FHA zero down. Basically, we're going to give you an FHA loan, get you finance, and then we have a nonprofit that will put down your earnest money. Your 3.5%. Now, when you're dealing with the thinking of using grant funds of any program, there's three parts to it. The first part is the loan. The third part is your responsibility of you bringing something to the table. That's the 3.5%, or it could be 5%, or it could be 10%.
Right.
The lender will tell you at the time of application. And then there's a closing cost, which is normally negotiated with your realtor.
Yes.
And the lender to bring that cost down. If it's not covered by the seller, it's usually covered by you.
That's right.
Henceforth, the grant is important to know all these numbers so that you can determine how much grant you need. And the loan officer can tell you how to work those grants together with your closing costs. So let's go back to the first part. Anytime you get a grant, there's all these conditions and overlays, which is great. Everyone wants to make sure that you can afford the house, you can afford the payment, and that you are comfortable living in your new home, not worrying about whether or not you can be able to pay your bills, and you can enjoy your home. So the whole objective of any grant program is to encourage people who are first-time home buyers to get into the market.
Yes.
And own a home. So, why pay $1,800 in rent when you can own a house?
That's right.
And pay less.
That's true. That's
in this market. And you know the beautiful part is, right here in the DMV, we are pretty much recession-proof.
That's true.
Proven fact. If you buy a home, you're less likely to lose a whole lot of value in your home because the market is sustainable by itself, because of the economy they're in. It's not for all markets. The markets do vary. I can only speak for D.C., Maryland, and Virginia.
That's true.
In the proven history of our economy and how things have gone, what I'm finding out is a lot of people have gone through certain extenuating circumstances is the word that we use as our professional terms. If you have that situation, call your loan officer. You're going to hear me say that a lot. If you call your loan officer, you're going to, my phone's ringing right now. When you call your loan officer, he can tell you everything that you can and cannot do before you even enter into doing the loan application. That's the best one you want to have. Because if he can get on the phone and say, hey, here's where you're going to fall into these problems. Can we get this, get this, and get this, and document it, and then have someone to validate that, you're in good shape. Because once the validation part is done, all the underwriter is going to do is just make sure everything is checked and to the guidelines of the lender. Going back to the grants, there's another process to that. They also will confirm what we've done to make sure that it meets the guidelines that they're comfortable with, and then they approve. Then the funds are then wired to the lender, and everybody's happy.
Very good.
With those also the options of the 100% program and our grant program, which is not new. It's just something that we do, and we're happy to be able to provide that for you. What we look to do is to also offer not just the one FHA zero down, but we also look to offer to you an 80-20 product.
Okay.
80-20. Gotta get it. If you can get it, it's a credit score requirement to it. It's a very high credit score. But here's how it works. Instead of getting a grant or getting your down payment covered, we work with two different investors to get you the 80% first and a 20% second. That, of course, is to our clients who have the qualification to meet those. That is to get those persons who are most secured with making monthly payments and have those goals set on how they're going to pay off their debts. All those things are lined up, and they're ready to move forward with the next step of buying a home. That product is not necessarily tied to a first-time home buyers.
Oh, okay.
It allows you to sell your house and go get that 80%, 20% financing, 100% financing without being a first-time home buyer.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Very good.
And I think you mentioned another characteristic of that program with respect to mortgage insurance. Is that correct?
Correct. With that particular product, there is no MI, meaning usually, let me go back to the loan part. You have your loan. Then there's an insurance part that is covered by the loan. So if 80% is what the investor is normally going to give you, then there's an insurance company that insures the 20%.
Okay. Yes.
So I think that'd be the best way to show this scenario. So whoever's going to insure the 20%, it could be FHA, it could be VA, it could be what we call mortgage insurance companies. Like I can't name the companies, but there's some mortgage insurance company out there. They insure the loan in the event that you happen to fall into dire straits, or you just decide not to make the payments. Unfortunately, that has happened.
Yes.
But they come in and they pay off the 20%, so the lender is only responsible for the 80%, which makes it easier for the house to be put back on the market. Simple.
Okay.
Compensating factors. So when that takes place, that mortgage insurance is covered. It takes care of the default. It's moved on. Going back to our scenario, when you have 100% financing and you have 80%, 20%, the 20% is what we call an equity line of credit. That equity line of credit is a line of credit you can pay down and later on come back. If you need to use it, you don't have to reapply for the loan. The beautiful part is,
that's good.
There's no MI because we don't need anyone to insure the 20%.
Line of credit.
The line of credit covers it. So that is an excellent product.
That is smart financing.
Open up the windows and the dreams.
That's it. That's smart. So when we aptly named this Take 10 segment, we said having your dollars make sense.
That's right.
So the first thing starts with a phone call. Now, is there a cost to a consultation with you, sir?
Nope, my phone's been ringing. No, there isn't. Well,
Okay.
here's how
Tell
it works.
how to reach you.
I can be reached at 703-296-4984. Also, I want to send a shout out to Turnkey DMV.
Okay,
Lola
yes.
Thompson, Al Davis,
Lacey, McCullough, yes.
These guys are just booming it up. Also, another young lady who's just phenomenal in the market industry. I look forward to talking with her soon. My number is 703-296-4984. What I will do is you'll have a direct call to me, and I will answer all your questions up front as best as I can. If I cannot, I can get someone on the phone with me that will give me an answer that will meet the requirements of the underwriter.
Excellent. Well, folks, we've got to go now, but we want to thank you for tuning in to Real Estate Talk with Lisa. You'll see us on Facebook, on YouTube, and right here on WBGR Network. And remember, I'll see you at the show.
Take care.